Dr. King's Memorial.
Memorial.
Introduction. A memorial in
Washington,
D.C. honors Dr.
Martin
Luther King Jr. The
Memorial
memorial has a large sculpture of Dr. King and famous words that he said. The time is always right to do what is right. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Who was Dr. King, and why do we remember him? Dr. King was a great leader. He wanted
equal
rights for all people, no matter their race or color. The South. Dr. King grew up in Georgia is state in the South. In the 1930s,
racism
was common in the South, and many laws were unfair to black people. The laws kept black people and white people
separate
from each other. Black children had to go to different schools from white children. Black people had to use different drinking fountains from white people. Laws that black people had to sit at the backs of city buses. The front seats were only for white people. Black people also rode in different
railroad
cars than white people. Black people aren't allowed to use the same restaurant as white people. Dr. King's work. Dr. King wanted the unfair laws to change. He wanted the law to treat people of all races equally. He talked to many people about how to change the laws. He will never end hate. Only love will end hate. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King wanted to use peaceful ways to make change. He said there was already too much hate in the world to use
violence.
Do you know Rosa Parks would not give up her seat at the front of a bus in 1955. She was arrested. People around the country heard about it. Her courage helped change the unfair laws. Dr. King and other leaders marched with many people as a peaceful way to fight
racism.
They hoped to get the unfair laws changed. They also protested racism by peacefully refusing to follow the unfair laws. For example, they held sit-ins. They set the diner counters where only white people were allowed to sit, refusing to move. Some people were arrested by the police, including Dr. King. New laws. Dr. King and other leaders worked hard for years. In 1964, the government changed the unfair laws. The new laws are fair. It is now against the law to treat people different because of their race. Black children and white children can go to the same schools. Everyone can sit where they want on buses and trains and in restaurants. The same water fountain and restaurants can be used by their free race. Dr. King's dream. Dr. King wanted all people to be free under a law. He wanted laws that were fair to everyone. He dreamed that people of every color would get along. Today, the laws are fair, but there is still work to be done. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. When people visit his memorial, they remember Dr. King and his dream of fair laws and free people to carry on his